Welcome to Positive Energy with Crystals. My name's Hillary, and today we are doing positive energy journal stuff. So today we're going to go over February, what I did in my journal, and then we'll go over March's prompts. This video is going to be long. I'm going to try not to talk really fast. I'm a little bit hyper. I'm trying to keep it down. But if you need to play at a higher speed, I totally understand. I won't be offended by it at all. We got a lot to go through. So, a couple changes I've made to my journal. So, I don't think I pointed it out last time, but this border here on my journal, the composition book, it started lifting. So I put this sticker here and on the back. So, you know, if your journal needs some updating as you go, that's perfectly fine. Another thing is, I will go into more, but a friend sent me this Stay Positive. She sent me a whole bunch. You'll see. Hold on. But I thought that was really good for my title page. And I love that. So, I don't think I've made any other changes. Okay, so February, let's move some stuff out of the way. We're just gonna have a big mess. February's full. And I still have, today is the 25th is when I'm recording this, so I still have like 4 days left of this month. Counting today. I don't know that I'm gonna, well, there's still a little bit. Anyway, the self-love, self-care theme for February was great. It was perfect timing. It was good. The prompts, oh my gosh, the prompts I'll get to here in a little bit, but this month really made me glad that I'm doing this project and that I'm sharing it with other people. I found myself going back at just the two other sections that I've done, and just looking back at stuff. And I know that I'll do the same with this section, especially over here. I can't wait to show you that part. And I'm happy I did this, and it has helped so much. And even on days I don't feel like writing anything down, just going through, just pulling it out and reading through stuff just helps. I was a little worried, and I'll explain that when we get over to the things to do for self-care section. But after like 2 weeks into the month, I wasn't worried at all. So let's get started with February 2026. The theme, self-love, self-care. And I've got lots of these stickers. So there's the first love yourself, self-love club. That came from that same friend. Self-love club. Love yourself. You matter. Whoops. It's kind of shiny. Self-care club. And of course we've got my gnomes are back. I'm so excited. Oh, and that came from the same friend that I'm going to mention here in a little bit. But I got all my little gnomes. I'm so happy my gnomes are in here. So the season started off with in bulk. And to me that means spring is coming. It's still winter, but it's starting to be springish. And now today, it's 66 degrees outside, and it's getting a little warm inside, so I'm going to hurry and record this so I can open the door and get some fresh air in here. So anyway, the message. Now, I've said from the beginning that I'm using different forms for my message. So, you know, like in the December one, I had cards that were sent to me by a friend. And then January I used my charms. Well, February I used, oops, the Seeker and Messenger oracles. I've combined them. It's a pretty big deck. I love this deck. It's big. I have to the way to shuffle is to go this way because it's the only way to shuffle this. And I've even taken some cards out of here that were kind of duplicate-ish, I think, or ones that that I didn't like. There was one that said know your label or something like that. I hated that one. And so I pulled a few of those out too. But for the most part, they're all here. There's just a few that aren't in here. So it's a big, hefty deck. So I decided I wanted to use this deck for February because I ask it, the way I use it is I ask it for advice. Where it's at the beginning of the week, I'll ask it for the weekly advice. At the beginning of the month, I'll ask for monthly advice or what advice I need for that month, stuff like that. So I thought using it as to get a message for the journal for this month would be a good thing. And I got an unfair judgment. And so the brief description is an unfair judgment. We make good and bad judgments and base our behavior and decisions on them. Will be times when we make hard and necessary decisions based on experience. So I just kind of kept that in my mind throughout the month. Oh, I also forgot to mention the doodle was hearts. I think I said it, doodle in your favorite color. So you'll see lots of red hearts. Okay, anyway, so that was the message. So in my pocket, let me move stuff around. In my pocket, I had rose quartz because that was the crystal I was working with for February. Great idea. I've already recorded that video, but it should come out next week from when you're seeing this. So I have the rose quartz. Of course, I've got my amethyst, tourmalinated quartz. I'm still carrying my angelite and my Apache tears for my grief stuff. I was wearing my angelite bracelet, but I think I still have my moments, but I'm able to back off a little bit on my grief stuff. So I just pull it out when I need it now. Same with the jade, my jade bracelet. I have found that jade has really helped me work through my grief stuff too. So, but it's still easy to get to. They're still, if I need them, if I wake up feeling like I need them that day, I pull them out. I can't remember why I needed my lapis lazuli bracelet. I use it when I need to really communicate something and make sure that I'm usually a doctor's. Oh, that's what it was. I had a doctor's appointment and I had some questions that I really wanted to make sure that that I communicated exactly what was going on. That's what it was. And then my husband, I don't know if I showed this in the last video, if I had gotten it yet or not. Or maybe, I think I got it in January. Anyway, my husband got me this aquamarine bracelet. I love it. I use it a lot during allergy season. It's really good for sinus issues. It's amazing. So that's what was, oh, and I have my key charm that I carry. I had an owl charm too, but I don't know where it is right now. I don't know if it, focus. I checked the bag. It wasn't in the bag, so I'm not exactly sure where the owl is right now. I'll find him later. Alright, was that all that was in my pocket? Yep, that was it for that. In the sky, I'm going to make a change to this. It's not, this section isn't turning out exactly how I thought it was going to. So I'm going to start combining this with the magic, because it's pretty much all I'm doing right now is listing the full moon and the new moon. And then over in the magic, I say, like, I made moon water or whatever. So it seems kind of repetitive to put it in those spaces. Plus that gives me a little bit of extra space. So, and you'll see, if you've already seen the prompts for March, I took that off, but I'm still going to use it. And it's just going to be considered in my magic section. All right. Now is when we're going to get a little crazy. So in my gratitude section, now, this, like I said, this is going to get a little crazy. There are some things in the gratitude, memories, and magic that they could go in any of the spots. And how do I explain this? It got crazy. And some could go in any spot, but I also kind of, I ran out of spots. So there's the divination book I'm going to talk about over here that was actually what should have been over in magic, but it needed more space, and that's where it ended up. So just keep that in mind, that gratitude, memories, and magic this month, they're sort of combined. So in gratitude, I've got the black roses, and I've got a black rose sticker here to help represent them. The hematologist with an evil eye earring. I love that doctor. My project planner book. I gotta show you this. So, I love this book. It helps me organize my videos. I've just started using it this month, but I can tell you, I can keep track of what videos this is the planner for this video. And usually in notes, I don't usually say wing it mostly. Winging it is usually bad for me, but it helps me keep track of what stage I am in the video. When it gets down to writing the description, I make sure I get all the channels listed. I can already see I'm missing one. I'll write that down here before I forget. Anything that I need to grab, make sure I've got for the video. And then here's something that makes you find a page. Here. So the chakras video that came out last week, when I pull crystals, I put which slot number they are in my trays, so that when I go to put them away, they're right there. This book, I love this book. And I'll show you what it looks like. This is what it looks like when it's blank. If you have trouble keeping track of your videos, I highly recommend this book. And now back on track. My new comfort mug, I was going to bring it out and show you again, but I showed it in the last video. I love that mug so much. Under gratitude, I've got friends made through YouTube. They make me happy. Under gratitude, I've got my problem solving skills. Those came in handy this month, apparently. Reconnecting with elemental divination. I don't know if this book is, I haven't used it in forever. And okay, calm down. The way you use it is you roll dice, and then it's based on elements. Air, fire, water, earth, sun, and moon. and then it's like greater, like one element over the other, lesser or greater. Well, when I was doing it before, you use 3 dice, and you go with how they land, and that explains how you, there's just the one picture, how you read it. Oh, there we go. Well, another suggestion is to get colored dice and go from there. And then in the back, okay, say roll the dice. So what I did is the red is the top one, yellow is the middle one, and blue is the bottom one. So I go with, so the top one is 5, so I go back here and go 5. And then the second one is 5, so we find 5, 5, and the bottom one is 6. So 5, 5, 4 to 6. So that's greater sun over sun. The triumphant sun, unimaginative success, health, vitality. I don't have my glasses on. Brightness. And I go to page 170, and it gives me the information for that roll. So it's a whole bunch. I've been doing a lot more like elemental stuff lately, and I forgot how amazing this system is. I love it, especially since I've gotten the colored dice. And I remember I bought the colored dice, and then I never used them, and I kind of ignored the book, and it's amazing. I love it. I'm going to use this for March's message, so we'll see this again next month. I don't want to stay on one topic too long. I'm going to try to rush, but I also want to share everything. And I'm also out of room. Alright, now to memories. Oh, Debbie from Debbie's Witchy vlog did my very first VR to the Positive Energy Journal. It was amazing. I shared it. I even added it to the playlist for this, so you'll see it in there. I went to the Two Friends and Junk. It's a kind of like a vendor, kind of like a craft fair, but it's what am I trying to say? Calm down. My brain is going too fast. It's more like a craft fair, but it's not really crafts. There are some crafts, but it's more like antiques, stuff like that. That's where I got this little strawberry bowl that I am going to use for offerings outside for, well, I don't know if I'm going to do it out. This is going to go outside. This one might stay inside for gnome stuff. I can get that out of the way now. I got earrings that day there, and then afterwards we went to this is booth store, but that's actually supposed to be bin stores. So I don't know if anybody knows. Oh, we're getting that in a little bit later. So hold on, we'll come back to that. My husband, we went succulent shopping, and he bought me these. This little guy, I need to do where you trim it and start new ones. And then this one, look at how cool that one looks. And this has gotten big, but they're fun, and it gives me something to take care of now. You know, I don't have a dog anymore to take care of, and it helps. These out of the way, I'll make more room. Tony from Antoinette, my brain just went blank. Antoinette Tarot and Jewelry channel. She did the prompts when she did her digital journal overview. That was so much fun to see. I got an oracle reading during a Behind the Moon from Celina. And that was actually my very first reading from someone else. You know, I've done my own, but that was pretty special. That has led to something, I think I talk about it over here too. I do. So we'll wait till we get over there. But it's led to a whole rabbit hole I am going down now, and it's amazing. My husband surprised me with roses for Valentine's Day. I also got a reading from Carla and Rochelle on a Friday the 13th. I did the calling in love questions. That was amazing. Also in memories, an owl swooped down in front of us while we were driving. That was so cool. And then I saw 2 eagles flying in the field. And the Tesla shipping company's overload. So my phone number got I think the lady put just like a random phone number into the system to get a quotes on getting a Tesla ship from where was it? From Texas to Oklahoma City. And I spent almost a whole week dealing with that and blocking numbers and ignoring phone calls after a while, and it was a little crazy, but it's a funny memory now. At the time, it was crazy. We bought Exploding Kittens board game. If you've ever played the Exploding Kittens card game, I love the board game, and not just because I kept winning, but that was pretty fun. But it was friggin' hilarious. All right, so in magic, I'm 8. See here, I wrote new moon water. So in bulk, I had in bulk oil on a simmer pot tea light. That I have to say, I've been making oils for the Sabbats for almost a year. I've got this next year I'll have to fill in a few gaps. But that in bulk oil, oh my god, it smells so good. We did the protection oil around our site. I made full moon water and crystal charging. I won my very first deck from Cortney and Curio Hut. It is this Oracle of the Sacred Horse. I'm not going to go over it too much because Cortney did a great walkthrough, but I do have to show you and tell you, anytime Cortney does a giveaway, you have to go enter it, because not only could you win a really pretty, amazing deck, you can get a crystal. I got a crystal. It's a red jasper, and I was so excited. I have to admit, I may have been a little bit more excited about the crystal than I was the deck, but it's a very pretty deck, and I'm happy to have it too. But there's a crystal. It's a pretty red jasper. Okay, we need to keep going. So see, that could have gone on into a memory thing too, but all right. I found more little gnomes and dropper bottles at a bin store. So if you don't know what a bin store is, it's where they like buy returns and stuff from like Amazon, Target, and stuff like that, and then they sell them. And like one day $7, the next day $6, and so on and so on. And I got more little gnomes. And I got a big huge box, and I pulled out one of each. I got a big huge box of these. Focus. For $7. And then I got a bunch of dropper bottles for oils. I got a bigger gnome that I'll put a picture because I got too much stuff here. It was so much. I got little gnomes. More little gnomes. Alright. Oh my gosh. So Elizabeth from The More Intuitive Me showed this deck. Not this deck, but the bigger version. Cosmovisions. I have wanted Cosmovisions or any of the Visions decks forever. and Elizabeth offered to let me buy her mini. And look at it! I am so happy. I don't know. I'm not gonna do a walkthrough. My focus is crystals, but I have wanted this deck, or one of the series, for so long. I have to say, this is the very first time that when I opened a package and there was a tarot deck inside that I got emotional. I love it's like an impressionist type style painting, and I don't know, oops, I guess it's this way. They connect together, you know, each suit, you know, it'll keep going, so it makes a big long painting. But I love this style of artwork, and this makes me I haven't done any readings with it yet. I wanted to show it all, and I'm just kind of enjoying it being in order right now. I know I can put it back into order later, but I don't know. It's just sitting here holding it makes me happy. So that's the Cosmovisions Oracle, and it comes in. It's got a flocked tin. Crystal Rhythms book. I bought the Crystal Rhythms book. I will do a walkthrough or a review of it. Celina from Essence of the Moon showed it on her channel. I thought it was amazing, and I needed it, so I bought it. I'll do a review of it. I got a really good deal on this one too. I feel kind of bad that it was such a good deal, but at the same time it was amazing. So I'll do that later. What else do we have? I did a simmer pot with Moonfire oil, also from Celina. This stuff is amazing. I ordered the Aber Camino, the road opener oil, and she sent this with it. This stuff, when I use this, I get hyper. I did not use it for the past week because I knew I had to. Oh, it may have been like last week when I used it. Anyway, I haven't used it for a few days because I knew that I was going to be hyper for this video, and there was no way I was going to be able to get through it if I used this oil. It smells amazing, but it makes me hyper. It just makes things more energetic, and it's amazing. My battery got too hot, so I had to take a break. I also opened the door because it was getting really warm in here. So you may hear birds and stuff now too. I also had a snack to try to calm me down. I don't know that it worked yet. So, let's get back to this. So I'm doing magic. When I was talking earlier about getting the reading from Celina, this idea of the card she pulled, she brought up infusing my nail polish with crystals, and this is the first, my St. Patrick's Day nails are the first ones that I've done. I'm going to go in a video about that later. I'm not going to go into it here because it was such a great idea. I've also started getting my seeds for my garden, and I've started doing a crystal infusion with my seeds. Like I said, that's going to be a video later. I'm still working out and still doing it. That'll come later. Oh, and now we get to the part that's the most exciting. Okay, let's start with, I got 3 hauls from some really good friends. They're amazing. Let's start with Jess from Witchy Best Friend. Look, well, you can't look yet. Look at all these stickers. There's so many, and there's a bunch of crystal stickers. There's a whole bunch of crystal stickers, and then she sent these little like spell bottles. There's one, you can't see it because I'm not holding it right. There's one for self-love and one for luck. 2 things that I'm working on which is, she didn't know that. There's a whole bunch of little tiny stickers in this bag. I'm not going to open it because I have a bunch. But this one's, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. Hold on. So, you know this. Look! It's washi tape to match! I don't know. Oops, upside down. The problem is this is going to be one of those things where I have it and it works great with this, but I'm going to hoard it and not want to use it because I want to use it in special times. But and then there's more washi tape. That one's a pretty good. Whoa! Put it in the camera. And then look at all these charms and crystals and little mushrooms. And I'm losing stuff. Look! Crystals and mushrooms and charms. Amazing. My friends know me so well. I get very excited about stuff like this. Alright, let me clean up this mess and I'll get out the next mess. To go with the smaller haul because so as of yesterday I picked this up from the mailbox. You all know Celina. I've mentioned her several times in this video. She sent me hagstones. Look at this. Let me get the other one out. And this is the Etsy shop that they're from. I finally have hagstones. Look at these. You can see through. I'm so happy to have hagstones. And look at the little shells. Thank you, Celina. This was from Star. I got more charms. Now, she doesn't know this, but this charm here got to me. I think I've kind of mentioned it a couple times in videos. Birds have just been showing up a lot lately for me, especially birds of prey. And so this little claw grabbing the pearl charm, I don't think it's going to go in my charm bag. I think this is going to go on a necklace and wear it as a necklace kind of charm, because there's something going on. I've been having a bunch of dreams about, especially birds of prey, but a lot of other birds, and she doesn't know that, but she sent me this little pendant and the evil eye stuff. Even just sent me evil eye charms and a bell and stickers and a valentine and a bracelet. Hold on, we'll get to the parts. This smells amazing. This is a home blessing simmer pot that this weekend is the first of the month, which means it's time for my simmer pot that I do at the beginning of every month. And this is what's going to be in. It's just a little one, so I'll get several uses out of this little package. I'm excited about that. And she makes these wax melts. This smells amazing. She gave me spearmint, some stickers. I'm so happy about stickers. This lemongrass incense smells so, I love the smell of lemongrass. I know you have to be careful with it around pets. I don't have a pet right now, so I'm going to go crazy with lemongrass. But she also sent me crystals. So there's I'm pretty sure this is a fluorite. It's really, really heavy though. I didn't think fluorite was that heavy, but it's, and then this is, oh, I thought this was sodalite. This isn't sodalite. This looks like, more like an agate. Oh, that's cool. I gotta stop getting distracted. Anyway, and this kind of made me laugh because this is the elementals. So you've got the water, the wind, the earth, and the fire. Like I said before, I've been doing more with elements. So this card kind of this isn't going to go in my journal like I did with the other cards. This is going to be sort of a special reminder card. And then, whoops, sorry. Not long ago, well, several months ago, started, or had a, is it the Witch's Moon? Oh, my mind went. I think so. She got a Hestia box. And she sent me the other stuff from the Hestia box because she knows I work with Hestia and wanted me to have it. And she forgot to put this in. But look at this carnelian beads. I haven't decided what I'm doing with these yet, but it's going to be something special. It'll probably be something for Hestia. I have a very small space for her little altar space, but look at those beads. Okay, we got to keep going or we're never going to get through this. Okay. I think we're... Oh no, we still have to do the outside stuff. Okay, so going outside, what I saw at the beginning of the month, it was mud and ice. We had snow finally, and it took forever to melt, and then it would refreeze. So we dealt with that for a while. The fields are starting to turn green, and now they're really green. I saw a very blue bird. Like, it wasn't a... It's not a blue jay. It was a bluebird, and it was so blue. And then the cardinals there just seems to be more cardinals out right now. Like I was talking about before, lots of birds of prey, lots and lots. I wrote fields turning green again. And daffodils. Okay, I'm trying not to tell long stories and go into too much, but the daffodils, they make me so happy. They're my happy flower. And in Oklahoma, or at least northeast Oklahoma, they just randomly come up in weird spots. So I did some research after we've been living here for a little, or that first spring actually. And because it was just weird, the places they come up, just random places along the highway or along busy roads. Well, a long time ago, I can't remember, it's been quite a while ago, there was this group of people that took a bunch of daffodil bulbs, and in the fall, just along the highways, just randomly planted daffodil bulbs. And then from there, the battery needed another break. So anyway, the daffodils, this group of people just randomly planted the bulbs along the highways. And then another group of people thought, well, that's pretty cool, and just randomly planted them along roads. And then everybody's like, well, that's really cool. So then they started planting them around like their fence lines, trees, out like along the roads and stuff. So there's just, when spring starts coming, and we started noticing this last weekend, daffodils just start popping up everywhere, and it makes me so happy, and I can't wait to be able to participate in the random daffodils. I go outside, I could hear the songbirds, I can hear them more now. They're out having fun. There were some, I put goose, but I think it was a group of geese. Still heard the crows, and then we had wind. Feel, it is above freezing. My strawberry plants were frozen. I haven't checked them. I'm kind of afraid to check them. I'm sure they're thawed out by now because it's been in the mid-70s. But I'm afraid to check them. And wind. And for the smell, the fields they've been putting manure on the fields. All right, so now let's get to February. Let's bring you down, because I want you to see this. So for the February prompts for the self-love stuff, first one was to list things to do for self-care, and then to do as many of those as you can. My main thing, just when I just need a boost, and I haven't not been able to do it in so long, is baking. I love to bake. You give me a complicated bread recipe and it calms me for some reason. It makes me happy. I haven't been able to bake in a long time, so crystals is my backup. And just like sorting through them, going through them, I've got a whole bunch of videos coming up, and so I was able to sort and just be in my crystals as much as possible. Another thing for me is experimenting with recipes. Same thing, I can do that a little bit, not as much as I want to. A bath with scented Epsom salt is amazing. I miss having a bathtub so much. A shower with no time limit. Live in a camper, you have a time limit. Arts and crafts, which I've been able to do a little bit of. Read a good story. I've got a Kindle subscription, so good there. Being around water. That is another thing that just, it calms me, makes me happy. I love it. Scents, good scents. I've been trying to do that more lately. I know it helps me. Going on a drive or an adventure. Just sometimes not even having a destination. Just say, let's go this way for a while and see what happens. Earrings. Oh my gosh, you should see my earring collection. Especially the dangly ones. Specifically for Christmas, I could wear a different pair of Christmas. Oh no, I'm way past it now. I was at the point where from Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving until Christmas Day, I could wear a different pair of Christmas earrings and never wear the same pair twice. I'm beyond that. I had a friend joke with me years ago before I reached this point that eventually I was going to be able to wear a pair in the morning and a pair in the afternoon and do the same thing, and I'm pretty close to being at that point now. Go stand in sunshine and fresh air, and that's something I need to remember to do more often. Being silly with friends. Snuggle and love a pet. I found out recently shuffling a deck kind of gives me that self-love, calm feeling. Almost any deck. Moving around. Moving around is a good thing to do. Did I seriously put sunshine and fresh air on here twice? So apparently I need to remember sunshine and fresh air. Playing cards and board games, and really any sort of games. I miss having video games. It's different playing on your phone, but I miss having the video game console or anything like that. And then, this is the most exciting part. So, the other prompt for February self-love was to make yourself or buy yourself a Valentine. So, I had these little cards, and they had the silver covering over it, so you can, I don't know if you can see, you scratch it off. So underneath, like a scratch lottery ticket, so you had to scratch off. So it had a question: how can you trust a tiger? And the answer is, it's not a lion. And because it's a tiger, I had to have it in here. But then I flip it over, and I filled out the to me from myself, Happy Valentine's Day. And then underneath, so it flips up, and I have done this so many times this month. I may have to actually tape down my tape. Oh, there's a truck driving by. Hold on. Sorry, it was a side by side. And then it says, Hillary, you are amazing. Thank you for everything you do for me. Love you. I've flipped that up so many times this month, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be flipping it up, once I get even further in, because I already go back to the other pages, and this made a huge difference. Okay, now let's zoom back out, because I'm not really zooming, I'm lifting the tripod, and let's talk about March. Now, if you follow on the YouTube community tab area, I posted the wrong prompts at first. I forgot to change the theme, and it still said self-love. You can still do self-love if you want. That's totally fine. You don't have to do what I have. But for March, I didn't want to go with like a St. Patrick's theme, even though I've got my little St. Patrick's gnomes. I wanted to go with something a little different, but still kind of goes with the month. So, well, let's go through the other stuff first. So we'll have the theme, which is going to be dreams, and I'll get to that why here in a little bit. The doodle, I got the little cloud sticker with it, so you can doodle clouds. I thought that'd be a fun a doodle to go along with dreams. We'll have the season, and then of course got the message, in my pocket, gratitude, memories, magic, and they go outside. And then for, you'll notice I didn't do, like I said before, I didn't do in the sky. I'm going to include that in my magic section. And then for the prompt, I'm going to probably use separate pages, because the prompt is March 11th is National Dream Day. Create a dream board, like a vision board, or create a list of your dreams, big or small. Don't think about the barriers keeping you from reaching those goals. Only focus on the dreams. It doesn't matter if you'll ever be able to achieve that dream. It only matters that you have dreams. That's March's prompts. I hope to see who else does it. And don't forget, if you do follow along with the prompts and show a video, even if it's just a little clip, you don't have to do a full VR. If you just show a little clip, be sure to use the hashtag Positive Energy Journal so that other people can see it. And I'm really enjoying this, and I hope you are too. So that's it for today. I'm sorry this was so long. I knew it was going to be, like I said, hopefully you didn't have to speed it up too fast. But that's it for today. I'm sending you lots of positive energy, and I will see you next time.